Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today's video, we're going to look at this car refrigerator by Calmdo. Just came in today. It's a 35 liter. It's a compressor. 55 watt low power consumption. Noise lower than 45 decibels. And this one here is smaller than the one I'm using. So it should be better fitted for the Jeep. I don't know if you can see, but the side has a big dent. So I don't know if the post office got a little violent with it. So just looking at it in the box, I will have to reverse that door. So you're gonna look at it. The interesting thing is there is no handles, which might make it a little bit awkward to strap it down. We got a box of goodies in here. But you can see inside, it's got a deep basket, which is good. Put some food in that in there, maybe some drinks on the side. Looks like it's got a little vent in there. Door looks reversible. Maybe there's some instructions in this box. So inside the box we got instructions. We got the 12 volt cable, and this obviously must be the adapter for the 110 volt. So the power adapter is in, I would assume would be the front of the cooler. This would be your power converter to 12 volts, I would assume. Output 13.5 volts at 4.5 amps. So with the power off, to get into the special feature, long hold the plus and minus together. And you get that, and then you press the negative. Now you're in the medium, that's the low cutoff. Medium, high. So negative goes down, plus goes up. So if I select the medium, press power, it gives me Fahrenheit or Celsius. And then if you just let it sit for a couple seconds, press power, and now we're gonna power up. So it's about 1:30 right now. Cooler inside's at 17 degrees. I like how it has the battery voltage up top, right? And it actually physically tells you your temperature. That is really cool. The operation itself is pretty quiet. When I speak in comparison of my other fridge cooler, one thing I want to look at. I thought maybe some air would come out of that vent, but I can feel the walls already starting to get cold. So that was actually quite fast. Took 12 minutes to get down to temperature. That's pretty crazy. Oh yeah, the walls are cold. Oh yeah. So right now in video land, I've been running the cooler for about 4 hours now. That sound you hear is the AC in the house going. It's not actual cooler. I've been running at 3 degrees. Nice and cold inside. You can see. I mean, for my Jeep TJ, this will work out perfect. It's nice and small. Most times with my Jeep TJ, I'm only going out for 1 night or 2 nights. So that's more than enough room to put some beverages in and keep my food in there. 35 liter. Now it's time for the next test. I know it can hold the temperature where I wanted it. So now we're going to go in the negatives. How cold can this thing go? Minus 20, really? Let's see if it can go to minus 18. Oh yeah, you can really hear it cooking now. Starts to cool down. Minus 3 and giving her. So it took about a half hour to go from about 4 degrees to minus 19. I can feel some ice in the cooler, so I know it can go to that. So for overnight, I'm just gonna hold the temperature at minus 10. Today is the following morning. Sun's just coming up, doing another test. So far so good. Cooler ran all night, had it set for negative 8 degrees. You can feel like some frost building up on the side. So that's pretty good. I'm just going to unplug it now. So if you leave the door open a little bit, it gives it room to vent, which is actually nice. So now I need to take it outside to my Jeep and fit it in there. So as you can see, the space in the back of the Jeep TJ is at a premium. I have this other cooler right here that I built a slide out for, but it takes up a lot of space, so I'm gonna clean it out, get the other cooler inside. I got the cooler in the back of the Jeep. Now I got most of my gear back in there, and from the other cooler, it opens up a lot more spaces, which I really wanted. Now the only thing about the cooler I don't like, and it's not an issue with the cooler, it's just a matter of preference. As you can see in the Jeep, I like having the controls facing towards the back of the Jeep. That way, you know, have my tailgate table down if I need to do any adjustments to the temperature, vice versa. It's all handy. The only thing is that I wish they would have put the power cord at the opposite end. They do give you a long enough cord though that I can still reach my power outlet in the front of the Jeep, but that's definitely kind of stretching it out. So that's one of the only things so far that I dislike about it. Then again, some people, depending on their situation, of course, might like it the other way. So it really is just a matter of preference. So I figure this cooler's probably gonna be about 5 amps. I got this Mac multimeter here, and it's on the positive probe. That's actually really quiet. So I was close, right around the 5 amp mark, which is pretty average. So this fridge has been working out pretty good. I found out what the key is that since it's so hot, my one buddy has an ARB fridge, and I set it to -4, and that way it keeps things not exactly at -4, because you got all the issue because it's like 32 degrees outside, so the fridge has got to work a little harder to keep things cool. But -4 is probably keeping things realistically at like 2 degrees Celsius. Check on the cooler. Now the temperature's dropped and the sun's going down, things really stay cold. That's a lot of things that people don't understand when they buy these coolers, especially when you use them in the heat. That's why a lot of them have an insulation blanket that comes along with it. It's hard to maintain the temperature in the hot weather, but right now, compared to how everything was all day, my drinks are like really cold now. It's a huge difference. I need to figure out the magic number for this cooler, so I'm gonna set it at 0 degrees overnight. Now that I've had the cooler out and tested it for a weekend, I really like it. When it's really hot out, I found that the magic temperature for me to keep everything nice and cold was about -4. And This is a good budget cooler. So far it's been working good for me. If you have any questions or comments, post them below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.